Hello, this is the Crypto Chillist. None of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. So I wanted to cover how I reacted to the market volatility today. This is Wednesday, January 18th, I believe. And let's get at it. So first of all, I talked about a gala, and I did not catch the top of Gala. It was a good play. We're back down to where a little above where we were yesterday when I covered it, but you can see how much this particular crypto asset bloomed overnight, and that's all you can do right there. So defining when you're in and out of the trade, are you above or below? And you can see how ideally we would have taken our profits as soon as we went below the 440 line there, and that would have been at about $1.98. And if we measure that move to where we are right now, we're down about 16% from that height, but we are still above the area where we would have moved into that trade, or just slightly below. Maybe we were at $1.74, and we're down to around $1.66. With a lot of the common exchanges, you can set a stop limit order, and what that does is if you hit a price such as here, if we set $1.47 as our stop limit, then if the price hits that order, it'll start selling the asset. So for the 24-hour period, we're still up a decent percentage, about 8% as we speak. And just real briefly, if I toggle that, Gala is above Shiba. And Shiba, let's look at Shiba real quick. And Shiba as well has come off of its peak way up here. So I think Shiba was down in this area when we looked at it. 45. So we are still above the area where we looked at Shiba yesterday, for what it's worth. So on my primary area of focus here, so we can really see all the red here. I have the NASDAQ QQQ because for me, this ETF tracks fairly closely to crypto. And so when QQQ is going crazy, typically crypto is going crazy as well. If QQQ pulls back, then crypto does. Notice how the QQQ got rejected off of the 110 and really hasn't been doing well since about August 26th. And we really do have a risk here of dropping below the 200-day moving average. So not the best time to be in the Qs. I think there was I drew out previously an area where we seem to have bottomed out and we grew from there. So interesting that we kind of hit that area again and bounced off. So we're kind of looking for this target on the Qs. Just seems naturally like we're in this range, right? So top of 283, bottom of around 261. And so that move may indicate what will happen to crypto next. So keep that in the back of your mind. I did make a small play for ADA when we were above 34, but I again had stopped out as we dropped below the 330 at 34 cents, and we're now down to around 33 cents. So, for me, it was about a $300 trade, and I am looking at accumulating ADA during this bear market. So, it wasn't like a significant play for me. The primary stocks or primary crypto assets that I am focused on here obviously are Bitcoin and Solana. And you can see they're all kind of creating the same picture here. So Matic, to me, this was in no man's land, right? So whenever we're in this territory that is not well defined, without a lot of indication, in my opinion, you get out while the getting's good. So I was profitable at 97, and that was the last area of support as we bounced here and went back up. So I felt like, I have nothing else to trade against, nothing else to compare with. So I sold out of my position on this. This is, what I did completely against my system. In my system, as soon as we got above the 440 at 86 cents, I would have bought in and I would have ridden this until we came down to the 440 and then started selling out. It's quite possible that this is just a minor correction, a minor pullback, not anything big, but again, without any real guidance from the trend lines to tell me what's going on, I set my stop at around 97, and that's when I got out. And so I just kind of set that profit aside. And so let's look at Solana. Solana, I have been slowly backing out of as we've been pulling back off of we touched the 440 twice, did not push back towards the 440. To me, that showed a sign of weakness and inability to get above the 440 EMA. And so I decided to pull out of, start taking profits as we're coming down here. So I entered the trade down here at $13 and I took profit in this area, and then as we're decreasing, I'm assuming that we're going to drop down below $20.48. Just seems like that's where the trajectory is. Solana is an interesting cryptocurrency because it does typically run at alternate times. It's more like Ethereum. So you'll notice at times where Bitcoin runs and then Ethereum is kind of just sitting there behind. And like here, really Ethereum hasn't paired off its profit as much as Bitcoin is. But if Bitcoin continues to pull down, then Ethereum will probably drop a little faster. So it gives you enough time to respond to the movement. And I said Bitcoin hasn't pulled back as much. So what are we at here? So we are down about 3%, which is no big deal, really, compared to the other currencies that I was showing. And let's look at Ethereum, and we are down about 4%. So again, not at all what I said, but Bitcoin is down about 3, Ethereum's down about 4. And to me, that this type of activity looks like normal retest. So if we were to draw a line here, this seems like an area of consolidation and test. And that is sort of, if you were not following the trend lines or these trend lines and just following just a line that you would draw, this would be where you would want to look out for 1525. And the next stop down, if we just kind of clone this to make it easier, so I don't have to draw it again. would be down around 14.29. And certainly if we drop below that, that's probably the next target people are looking for. Now, that does seem to kind of coincide with this trend line moving up here. If I can draw this here. So, this area right here could be an area of support if this asset were to pull back. And that would mean that Ethereum would drop about 7.5% more from where it's at right now. And for me, that is a decent place to take profit. I have not exited my Bitcoin position. I have not exited my Solana position, but here again with Solana, I've been more aggressive about taking profit. With Bitcoin, I'm staying put, and I'm just waiting for a better time to add in to my position above, as long as we're staying above the 440 here. And but I'm definitely looking for Ethereum as well to add to a position as long as we're above 440. And for more speculative assets, I'm more aggressive about taking profit, especially when we're up in an area that doesn't have any real guidance. You can see in this where we fell past the retest of 96 and we're now down to around 95. So completely possible that we've had sort of this as area of resistance before, but totally possible. You see all this activity over here kind of coincides with the 200-day moving average around 90 cents. So that probably would be a decent place to buy back in. And I'll take all the profit that I made with Matic and just kind of buy back into it. There's no reason to think this market will go straight up. It won't. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. And the goal here is to maintain your profit and be in the market as much as you can so you can take advantage of these short rallies. And, I hate to say it, but if you don't have a system, like I didn't have a system April 2022, and I didn't have a system in beginning of December 2021, and I paid a lot for not having a system. I have a system now, and this is the system I'm following. So for now anyways, we're looking for Matic to hit a target around between 91 cents and 90 cents in that range, but anywhere certainly between 93. There's plenty of support in here that you can see, and that will kind of coincide. If you're going to wait for a bounce off the 440, then it's probably going to be closer to 88 cents. But again, we'll just kind of have to watch what that price activity does. And on Bitcoin, again, I'm looking for, if we support the 440 here at 19,475, then I'll be looking to get back in there. And otherwise, I'm just going to do like my normal small amount of DCA every other week and just kind of add to my pile there. And I do think, let's look at from this point of view, right? We have this is the staked sol. I've been looking at this as sort of guidance on what could happen in the future, and as the amount of Solana that is staked comes off, the price definitely will come off, because you have to assume that people are adding to the position because they think the price will keep going up, and they're pulling out if they think they want money, need money. So there are lots of indicators in TradingView that you can look at. I often look at, like, relatively speaking, Solana's doing pretty much the same thing that it did against Bitcoin. So, this is a perfect representation of how we're trading this, right? And versus Ethereum, didn't quite get to the 440 here, supported the 330, but dropped below the 330. So you can use this charting, whether it's with QQQ or some asset like MicroStrategy, anything that you want. And anyway, so that's a quick recap for today. This is Wednesday, January 18th, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Take care.